So we've got one of these games where you get a good advantage, but the player just will not give up. And you've got to really remain focused in this situation. Otherwise you can actually lose the game, because they are going to be very focused if they are down on material. So you've got to be equally focused. So let's just show you what happened. We started with a king pawn opening, right? Italian game, and
Kingside castle in.
you can see black's doing some pretty weird things, pushing a lot of pawns, and I feel that's going to pretty much compromise a lot of structure, a lot of piece protection and so on. I'm getting my knights to clone each other there. I call it cloning, where they can cover each other so that no bishop can bother my queen. And out comes another, again, like, just makes me want to put the white bishop or the queen over on the left there. Very odd strategies. I can now move this pawn, and his knight can't really move anywhere, so back comes the bish. I like this pawn structure. It's something that I've established quite well. And now we've got knight coming forward already. Queen comes back. Another knight comes forward. As you can see, there's a lot of weak squares in black's field. And I'm very mobile. Again, here we are, you see the bishop. And so we just clone it. We just get ready to clone
Queenside castle in.
It's not a big deal. But now I can start pushing the pawns. My king side is very, very stable here. I seem to have won a pawn at some point. And I think it was kind of offered, actually. I'm not quite sure. I couldn't quite work out whether it was a good idea or not at the time. But here now you see he's castled with his queen in front of his king. This is lethal. In fact, this is a novice error, really. This is a lower quality player error. We don't make this error at the high levels, because once the queen is in line with the king, she may be won. And still he hasn't seen. I've opened the file. He starts pushing rooks and things. Out comes my bish. What's he got left now? He's going to lose a knight at the least. Over comes his rook. He thinks he's getting ready with a counterattack that's going to beat my attack. But here comes my attack. And I just can't believe he didn't see this. And I'm thinking, well, surely this is going to be an easy game to win. Never think that, though. Look how many moves it took in the end, 111. Just because someone made a silly move somewhere, or may accidentally missed something as obvious as queen in line with king, don't take it for granted that they're therefore a bad player, because it is often things like queenside castling put your pieces on squares you didn't expect, and maybe he just wasn't ready for this. So, and also he's got this idea that, look, he's got this amazing attack here, he feels. Well, I don't feel it's that amazing. In fact,
check.
After I take his queen, I take this bishop,
check,
and then he checks me here. I looked at this afterwards, and I felt that the queen was worth 2 rooks, that I would be up enough material to win the game easily if I just gave up my queen for the 2 rooks. But in fact, I don't think I needed to give up the queen for the 2 rooks at all. I think I could have just moved over to the corner square, but I don't know. The king isn't really very good in the corner. We don't really want the king in the corner. He could start doing nasties with his dark-coloured bishop and all sorts, and his knights. So we decided to give up the queen.
Check.
In the interests of simplicity, because now we look at the board. Look how simple it is now. He has 3 minor pieces. I have 3 minor pieces, but I have a rook extra. So now I can just try and find ways to trade off the minor pieces, and that will simplify matters. It's not so easy for him to checkmate me with 2 knights and a bishop, right? As it would be if he had the 2 extra rooks.
Check.
Gives a quick check here. Foolish move. I don't move the king out because I'm very wary that these knights might have weird moves. You can't always guess what they'll be in the heat of the end game. This is kind of an end game now. But look, I've got the scissors coming here with both bishops, which is very powerful. And the bishops are good at holding in knights, and we managed to trade a knight off there. So look, now it's just 2 minor pieces and a rook. should get easier and easier the more you can trade off. What we want is a nice rook fork or something, but it's not happening. Just trying to trade off everything I can. Here we are now. We've got that check line there, you see. He's going to have to lose that. Knight. I can't take the pawn, unfortunately, but I can take that one. Now look, he's got one advanced pawn, but I've got three. But nevertheless, I still have to be careful. I've only got this one rook extra now. So although it is a whole rook, you know, it's 6 points of material in addition to the 3.5 that we've got with our bishops each. Nevertheless, it's minimized in a way by the lack of material on the board. I've got this nice pawn that I'm running home up here that I'm kind of hoping he's hardly going to notice because he's busy eating up these pawns. I'm going to let him do it. And then we're just going to have to sack that queen. But now his bishop's gone. But now look at the board. This is actually not that an easier win. This is not that easy. If his king can stay well in front of his pawns, I could be in a world of pain here because I have a rook, not a queen. I don't have a queen. Potential check. He has to move the pawn. And I'm just going to move my king forward. I mean, there's a high risk of a stalemate here if you don't get this right. But the main thing is, one of the most important things is when all your opponent is doing is running pawns home, is to get your king in front of them. It is the most important thing. And given that I've got these pieces as well, that's really going to help. But as you see, I've got the correct colour of bishop now to really cause him a problem, because he can't come forward from this position now. With check, even after this pawn move, it doesn't help him. It looks really final and scary, that pawn move. It's like it's going to queen and give me a check.
Check.
But I've got this. And the thing is, he can sort of try and defend it. He could have gone onto the black to try and defend it, but he would have been checkmated immediately by my rook.
Check.
But it's check anyway. And after this check, it's gone. He can do threats, but nothing's going to happen. He can move, try and attack my other pawn. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work, because now I've got the game completely sewn up. But as you see, that final jiggery-pokery with the pawns, where he had those 3 pawns, was pretty fraught and pretty scary, and you've got to keep your cool and you've got to keep focused. Just because you won a queen, don't let it go to your head. Make sure you stay focused. And after this, he resigns. And I'm up nearly 10 points of material. This is, in theory, an easy win. But it's not easy, because you've got pawns that can become queens. And you can never, ever take them too lightly. Hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, please like and subscribe to Chess Voices, which is the most relaxing chess channel on YouTube.